Hey guys, we're back. We're back with some more cool stuff. Of course, you know AI is cool. I love AI. Everyone is really digging all of the great things that are coming out with AI. So I have some great people from the Amazon Artificial Intelligence team. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to talk about some of the great launches they had today, specifically a product I'm really excited about. So take it away.
Hi, everybody. This is Vikram.
Hi, and if you follow from previous session, my name is Vlad. I'm engineering manager for this product.
And I manage product management for Amazon Transcribe, which is the product we're going to be talking about today. Transcribe is a fully managed, continuously trained automatic speech recognition service that helps you transcribe long-form audio into text.
Excellent. So, you know, it was funny, we were talking about it, I'm in grad school, and one of the things we were talking about is how great if I could have just had this service less than a month ago. So we have to watch these YouTube videos. They are streaming, and sometimes you don't want to see the intro. I just want to get to the crux of the data they want us to get to. And so, can you tell us about more scenarios and use cases like getting that streaming data to text that we could use in using Transcribe?
Yeah, that is the exact pain point why we decided to launch Transcribe, because audio data is hard to process. You don't have the tools that can take an audio data and tell you, what language that that audio is, or what are the entities like a comprehend does for text. So the first step in being able to extract value from audio is to convert that into text, and that's the reason we launched Transcribe. So in your case,
that would have been perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. So with Transcribe, once you convert it into text, now that gives me the ability to query and other things. Isn't that right?
That's right. Once the data is in text, you could run it through Amazon Comprehend, right? Figure out what the key phrases are, entities, sentiment, and everything. So if you have customers that are calling in, and you've recorded those calls, you could do all that analysis on that text.
Sounds great. So obviously being in grad school, one of the key things they're all into, as you guys are as well, is neural networks, right?
Right.
And so you talked a lot about the last session, training all these models, things of this nature. Can you tell people out in the audience, why is our ASR accurate? How do we ensure that there's a level of accuracy with our AR system here?
Sure. So to give you a little bit of a background, we had an ASR service with Alexa, right? So Alexa does short form speech recognition, where you talk to the Alexa, it's able to convert that into text, understand what that text means, and react accordingly. And we took all that data and all those learnings to build a long-form speech recognition, which is able to do the same thing on much longer audio. So for example, you could take an entire movie and transcribe it.
Nice.
Right? So, and the core to having that accuracy is the training data that we get from our customers, as well as through Alexa, that we've invested a lot of resources in transcribing and then flowing that back into the model to retrain. So the more people use the service, the better it becomes.
Right, and the really interesting thing about ASR in particular is that's actually not a single model.
Yeah.
It's a combination of multiple models that together allow you to really well understand the speech. So it's not just taking the audio and extracting information from it. It's also having a model that understands a language.
Nice.
And then you can map that information extracted into the language model, and this is how you get the meaningful language. So the model is more biased towards a correct language, rather just extracting some information from audio stream.
Just random words,
random words,
exactly.
Right? So it knows concept of a language.
Nice.
And it can create meaningful sentences because it knows the concept of a language.
That sounds
Because we're
fantastic.
talking about accuracy, one other thing I'd like to mention is the telephony audio, right? Because when you call on the phone, it's not as high fidelity. So we've taken special care to ensure that we train on a lot of telephony audio to make this really accurate for the call center recording transcription use case.
Yeah, and there's a lot of subtleties to it. For example, punctuation. You get even that right. For example, in Spanish.
That's right.
Right?
Correct. And it does it in the languages, right. So in both languages, it will do punctuation. It will also, what we also will do is we will timestamp the output. Right. So you will know in the text that gets out for every word where in audio it started and ended. So you can perfectly match an output to the audio input afterwards. Right. And then you can extract the snippets of audio based on your text extraction. So if you got the text, you analyzed it, you extracted meaningful pieces from the text that you're interested in, you can go back to audio and you can clip that audio you can get from your YouTube.
That's what I'm
You can
thinking,
get just a clip
Yeah.
of what you're really interested in
Cool.
Right.
in the full automated fashion.
Okay, guys, you heard it. All of you are with grad school with me at Tech. We have a way to now listen to our lectures without listening to the whole thing. Okay, I didn't say that out loud. But how about if you're a developer? You know, we're all developers up here. Now this is great. What if I want to infuse this in some type of application or solution that I'm building? Can we talk about how, as a developer, I can really infuse into this service and build it into you know, various solutions I'm building?
Yeah, so we're integrated with S3.
Okay.
So for example, if you're using Amazon Connect, let's say, which is our contact center in the cloud, and your customers are calling in and you have all these call recordings, they would all go into an S3 bucket. And then because we're integrated with S3, you could just write a simple Lambda that would point transcribe to the data in S3, and it would just generate the transcripts, put that into back into S3, and then you could pipe it through any of the services like translate or comprehend in order to extract value from it, and then finally visualize all that in QuickSight.
Excellent.
And what file formats are supported? Like how developers can prepare their media to throw at Transcribe?
So
Great question.
we support a wide range of file formats so that customers don't have to do the conversions. So most common formats like WAV, FLAC, MP3, even video files, MP4, we support.
Are there any restrictions on the type of conversion that these files have to be in?
No.
Okay. So great, no conversion. That sounds great to me.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to. We're trying to minimize the amount of heavy lifting you have to do. So in ideal scenario, you just take your library of data that you already have, you store it in S3, or it's already stored in S3, and you just point our service to it.
Love
And
that.
all you do is then deal with the output.
Love that. I'm already thinking of things I can do that I probably shouldn't. All right, guys, we're willing to take questions from you guys from the audience on Twitch. If you have more questions about this great service of Transcribe, I'm already thinking about some of the things I missed because we were running around here in the keynote that, hey, I get to run it through Transcribe when the videos come out and check them out.
Yeah.
I can remind myself about all the great stuff we announced today.
I
And the
can't barely
punctuation.
wait to transcribe my own self and a lot of video material that we have.
Exactly.
And talk data and making it searchable and available. It's amazing. This is
Right.
What status are you guys in? You are in preview, correct?
We are in preview, and the service is free to use when we're in preview.
Lovely. And so, can
How
you
do
tell the
people
guys,
get in,
how
right?
do they get started, how they get in? We're ready to do it.
Yeah, so there's two ways in which you can consume the service. You can either do it through the AWS console or through an API. But in order to get started, we have an easy to register form that once you come to the console, you just register, and then we'll start whitelisting customers, and you'll get an email with all the instructions, with the documentation and how you would use the APIs, and that's it. Get
So
started.
what other great AI services you guys? So obviously we know that comprehend. I'm thinking translate.
Yep.
But I'm thinking about recognition video is really cool. Is there some, if not now, in the future, thoughts about plugging into those?
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you're analyzing a video, you not only want to look at the visuals, but you also want to be able to search through the text.
Correct.
Right. So if you're looking at a movie, you want to say, okay, when did Tom Cruise say this, right? And you should be able to search through it and go to that exact scene. I mean, this has many use cases. Even, let's say you have recordings of court proceedings, right, or meeting minutes, and you just want to search through them for a certain case. So you just search for a certain text, it goes right to the minute in that court proceeding or in that meeting about a certain subject. So it helps you archive all your data, search through it, makes it really accessible.
Are there? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, can it do? I was just wondering if it could do like multiple languages on the same file, on the same audio or video.
No, so currently we are doing. So currently it's one language per audio. So you need to supply the language.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, we'll start looking at actually identifying the speech in audio. It's a similar way we're identifying the language in text today.
I see.
We don't do it on audio yet, but that's something we can do later.
Interesting. Cool. Are there any sort of feedback that you would like to hear from developers while they're testing it out? What should people relay back to you?
Absolutely. So we'd love to hear from you on the accuracy that you're seeing from our service, sort of use cases that it's working well for, and use cases where it needs to get better. So we depend on our customers to drive our roadmap, and 90% of our roadmap or more is driven by customer feedback. So please send us the feedback. We're happy to work on either features that you want in the future, or on accuracy for your use cases.
Right.
We have a
Like
couple of
that's
questions on stream. Would it work for live video? What is the expected latency to get back results?
Yeah. So the initial implementation, we focused on the batch solution. So we focused on being able to process large volume of already pre-recorded audio.
Yeah.
But by the time we go GA, we will support the live streaming scenarios.
Very
so
nice.
at which point you can just stream our conversation
like we're doing right now.
and immediately analyze it. So we'll be able to do a sentiment. How do people like it real time?
Right,
Yeah, wow. Live, right?
I'm sure they love
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
you guys love us, right? Okay. What about?
yeah.
Okay, sorry. I
What
was going to
about-
ask about languages. So when we're ready to go GA, let's
Yeah.
say I'm ready to dive in and I want to build something. So obviously APIs, we already know Amazon believes in APIs and everything.
Yeah.
But are we going to are you thinking about specific language SDKs or type of media SDK? Can you talk about if it's possible,
Yeah.
what's coming as far as to help people engage and really get into playing with the service?
You want to
Right,
take?
yeah. I mean, in terms of SDK, we will support right away. We'll support every SDK that comes with AWS.
Fantastic.
So every language that's supported through AWS SDK, C, Ruby, Java, every single one, it will be supported for Transcribe. So
Love
you can
it.
use your language of choice to do that.
I have a question about speaker differentiation. Can it distinguish between speakers?
Not today, but we're going to soon launch that capability. It's especially useful when you have a meeting or this conversation. If we had recorded this, right, and you want to be able to differentiate between what speaker 1 said and what speaker 2 said, and then analyze each of them separately.
Okay.
It's very useful in those use cases. It's coming soon in Q1, Q2 sort of a time frame, 2018.
Awesome.
One more question for you before I know we have to wrap up. So we had some great speakers up here earlier talking about Kinesis streams. That's one of our popular products, and that it now supports streaming audio. Is there anything in the future you're talking about that, right now we're talking about pre-recorded large form videos. Is it possible, or in the future, are we thinking about doing streaming from Kinesis to audio stream to something like a Transcribe?
Yeah, so once we have a real-time Transcribe API that allows live streaming, we'll always try to integrate with other AWS services. So I mean, Kinesis streams is a very natural. Right. Also, recognition video is a very natural integration point. So when we launch something like this, we want to launch it as a complete solution, so customers can use different pieces and put it all together.
And I have to be fair, that wasn't my question. That was from a guy on Twitch.
Yeah.
So hey, give me you credit. That wasn't mine. That was his, but they wanted to know. So they asked, I should relay it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Very good question.
So guys, we have been here talking great about Amazon Transcribe. You guys launched it this morning, right?
Yep.
So one more time, how did they get started? Go to the page, preview.
Yes, there's a link there. Just click on it. Give us a few details, and very soon we'll get back to you. We'll whitelist you and send you all the information for you to get started.
Fantastic. Guys, go out and try it. I can't wait to use this for grad school. Don't tell anyone I said this. Have a great day, and check back live for more great streams. We're here trying to bring you all the tech goodness about AWS and reInvent. See you soon.
Okay.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.